Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Happy Friday. Yay, it is Friday. I need a little sound effects.
Woo
woo! Woo, yeah, cheering. Yay.
Liddell's got all the sound
effects.
Well, hey, but I have guests in that are willing to do sound effects, so that's great. This morning we have students in from the DECA, Payson High School DECA program, and their instructor, Miss Ginger Liddell. In the studio, Jaxon, Rhodes, and Emmalea, McMinimy. There we go.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good, yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's our day off, and
it's a beautiful Friday.
It's a great Friday, isn't it?
It's a
Nice weather.
Friday.
It's supposed to be 70s, in the 70s, so
Yeah.
warmer weather.
Never
it's
go back
nice.
to the cold, please. We're
No,
done.
You're done? You're
Yeah.
done with the cold? Well, this morning we're going to be talking about the DECA program, just all the different activities that you've been participating in, trips that you've gone on, competitions, and the future of these two young DECA students. And very proud to say they are heading, where are you guys heading? Both of you are seniors, so let's see if you can say it in unison. Where are you heading to go to school?
ASU.
There we go.
Sorry,
Yes.
Dad.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Scott Nossick, if you're watching. Sorry, but these fine Payson High School graduates are going to be taking themselves down to ASU, and that's where, yeah, wanted to wear the Hawaiian shirt today and the ASU Hawaiian shirt, so that's perfect. So, DECA, you guys have been very busy this year, very busy year, right?
So we've been really busy. We've done several large events. So we had our golf tournament, our first annual golf tournament back in October. And then we have our district competition where we took almost 60 students to that. And then our state competition, which is in February, and there was 40 students that attended that. And then in regards to other trips, we went to Austin for our Western Region Conference. And then we had some students go to New York for a week to experience just that area. And then a couple weeks later, we went to Florida for a sports and entertainment conference, and then obviously state. And then luckily, we had at state a couple students qualify for our international competition that's in Anaheim this year.
Are two of them in the room
They
with
sure
us?
are.
Okay.
They are. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then, and that will be here at the end of this month. We leave on the 26th.
And now for those listening or watching, because you can watch this program on our KRIM Radio Facebook page as we live stream it. For those that maybe don't know what the DECA program is, what it's about, can you just give a brief description?
So DECA is a marketing organization that supports my marketing class. So all of our programs at the high school have some type of program or organization or club that reinforces what is taught in the classroom in a competitive way. And so for marketing, DECA is that program. It used to stand for Distributive Education Club of America, but now we are international, and so we're not just in America. I think there's like 15 or 16 other countries that DECA is involved in, as well as we've changed to more of an organization than a club because it's co-curricular. It goes along with what I teach, and so it's kind of a combination, and it gives the students an opportunity to compete in areas that they've learned about in class or have added additional things to, whether they do a role play, where they're given a situation where they have to solve a problem as if they're the director of marketing or a CEO or just a front desk clerk and there's a problem. Or they could write a business plan where they actually start up their own business or create a franchise and they have to present their business plan in front of a judge as if they were going to actually start that business.
Nice. So Emily, how long have you been in DECA?
I will be finishing off 3 years and a half.
3.5
3 and a half,
years.
yep.
And what kept you in DECA? What did you really enjoy about it?
I think one of the biggest changing moments was going to state for the first time my sophomore year. I was like, when you go to state, you really get to know what it's like to be a DECA kid because you hang out with all these other chapters, you see how exciting everyone is, you compete for the first time, and then you just really get into a hang of it. And so I went into state. I won my first year, and after that, I was like, I love this. I was like, I want to keep coming back, you know.
Nice.
And so I came back every year because I wanted to go to state the next year.
Nice. How about you, Jaxon?
So this is my 4th year of doing DECA. Emma is a little bit different because she kind of took a little gap between.
Yeah.
So I remained in it the 4 years, and what kind of kept me in is that this was like the one like high school thing that really clicked with me, and that's what kind of helped me go into my like future career and my path with that. And then kind of what Emma did say is like that first time that you do go to state, even if you do win or if you don't win, you still just have like that extremely great experience while being at state with not only your chapter but all the other chapters within the state.
Yeah.
Wow. So DECA was very influential, or the reason why you chose the major that they chose. And what is your major?
So I'm going to be doing business law. And this year, both Emma and I, we competed in business law and ethics team decision making. So we were partners this year. And both her and I kind of, we clicked really well together while competing. And I just kind of figured that like, well, one day my mom's like, well, why don't you just do business law as your major? Like that's what you're good at. So then that's when I'm like, well, I mean, might as well. I'm pretty good at it. And might as well be a lawyer for business.
Hey, there you go. So you competed together at the state competition?
Yes.
And how you placed?
So we actually placed 7th place.
Okay.
And at DECA, there's actually a lot of teams where or teams that have competed in 2 events. But when you go to ICDC,
Which is international.
yeah, the internationals, you
Okay.
can only compete in 1 event.
Okay.
So we had 2 teams actually drop out in front of us, so it means that we got to slide into 5th place.
Okay.
And so that's what is sending us to internationals.
Nice. So where is internationals this year?
It's in Anaheim.
In Anaheim. Okay. Great. So that's not that far, because I know it's also on the East Coast, or is it like Indianapolis or
California.
California? It's always California?
No, it was
Well, last year it was in Florida.
Florida.
It was in Florida.
Right.
Okay.
and it was in
Okay.
Georgia once upon a time.
And it was
And then in Georgia.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
Atlanta. So we kind of switched between those 3 states.
Okay.
Within California, Florida, or Georgia.
Okay. So it's in Anaheim this year, so that's nice. Not as long of a trip.
Yeah.
But going. So the competitions, you really enjoy the competitions, Emily, huh?
It's fun. I think I just like it because it's such like a real life experience. Because there are so many things like I learned from Liddell that I gotta use in these situations, and they give you like real life situations. So I did restaurant and food industry like for the past 2 years, and there were so many problems and things that I dealt with that I have seen in the restaurants and like at Dutch Bros I worked. And so it was like really cool because it's like you're having hands-on experience, you know. Like yeah, you're at a competition, but like you play the role play like it's real.
Wow, and that's pretty cool. Now, how about you, Jaxon? Have you been able to use like your work experience, because you were working at Mackey's right here in the Sawmill Theater Complex? So, do you experience things that you also see in competitions?
I will definitely say like that, especially with Emma and I. When we compete, I normally do all of the, the law?
And I do
Anything
the
that's,
ethics.
anything that's involved with the law portion of it, that's kind of my section, while hers is with the ethics. I will definitely say, growing up in the restaurant industry and still continuing to work in it has definitely also even helped with this, because there are some times where we've had a restaurant one, right, before?
Yeah.
So, especially with all that, it does help a lot, and with me also wanting to be a politician once upon a time, it did kind of, that,
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
that really did help a lot with the law portion of our competition.
And that's I think one of the great things about the DECA program is all the real world experience. You know, whether it's competitions or internships, because that's part of the program as well, right?
Absolutely. So all my seniors do an internship or have the opportunity to do so, where they choose a local business here in town, whether they're something they're interested in, or sometimes if it's like law, we're kind of limited in regards to if a law firm would actually let them come in because of legalities, you know, of information.
Yeah.
But the fact that any type of internship they can get gives them that hands-on customer service, learning how to work in an office. Whatever experience they can get will definitely apply to no matter what they choose for their future, and just giving them that insight of a different perspective. So it's always a benefit, for sure.
I think that interaction in a workplace, just seeing, you know, all of the different things going on and being there instead of just reading about it or
Right.
watching videos, but it's different when you're actually in that place, in that position.
Yeah.
So-
And then we had two others qualify for internationals. We have Jaden Johnson and Alexis Jacobs. They
okay.
took second in hospitality team decision making, so they were also a team where their scenarios are more hospitality related
Okay.
and dealing with how do you promote a program, or maybe there's a problem with some situation and they have to solve it, or they're trying to promote a new type of hotel or restaurant, or it could be a wide variation of things. But so they came in second, and so they are heading with us to internationals as well.
So the trips you guys went on this year, where have you gone this year, Jaxon?
So I myself have I did go to the New York trip back in January. And then, of course, I've been to districts and state this year, and then I will be going to internationals.
How about you, Emily?
I did Texas and New York, and then Florida, and then I went to districts, and then I went to state, and then now I'm going to internationals.
As you can tell, she's the one
Wow.
that likes to go.
I have no money left.
Her bank account's gone.
But yeah, we didn't tell you this is also a fundraiser for Emily. We'll give you.
Please.
You'll see the number on the screen.
GoFundMe's on the link in below.
It's for college.
No, so what was your favorite trip?
My favorite
Which
one was actually the Florida one, because it was
Florida.
a sports business conference.
Okay.
And so we actually got to listen to people who did worked in the sports business industry, and
Wow.
I'm going to ASU to study sports business.
Okay.
And it was just we listened to some really cool people. We got to talk to a dude who creates the special shoes for Jordans.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
he came up and he was a DECA kid, so he talked about his
Oh,
experience,
wow.
and it was just so cool. Listening to people. We listened to someone who worked for, what was it, Universal, and then trying to think, what was the other one? The esports, right?
Esports,
Esports.
okay.
That was really cool. She helped with the digital marketing, and that was just really cool, just to listen to people who actually
Video gaming.
work.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and actually work in the sports industry.
Wow, and that's pretty cool that the one guy with Nike was in the DECA program.
Yeah, it was really cool, and he shared about it. He's I was once one of you guys, with all the DECA shirts, but now I'm here, and it really changed my life, and so it's just really cool, gives you hope.
So it really sounds like experiences like that, the competitions, just everything that you do in the DECA program helps prepare you for college, for the workplace, just for adulting, I guess, getting out there after high school. And that's great. That's great that there can be a program like that. And now, mainly, it's marketing or just business, I guess, in general, right? A business focus with the DECA program.
Well, DECA actually represents marketing, finance, hospitality and tourism, as
Okay.
well as business. So it goes through all of those, so that kids can really choose which one they are stronger at in regards to competition. There's a wide variety of ways that they can actually compete in a different area. So it goes along with what I teach in marketing, because we do kind of touch on some of those things throughout it, but they can really focus on either hospitality or finance or business.
Well, I think in the class too, we learned a lot of basic fundamentals, because I switched categories from restaurant and food service to business law and ethics, and there was a lot of things that carried
Crossed
over, and so it was really cool learning the basics, and then going into WP Carey, the business school, where I will be learning even more of the basics, and so that's just really cool.
Well, I think it's great that in the DECA program in high school, you're able to build such a great foundation. So when you're going to college, the advantage you have, that's big, isn't it, Jaxon?
Yeah, I 100% agree. And honestly, with having Miss Liddell as our teacher, she knows what she's doing, and she knows how to teach you in a way that it's easy for you to understand and actually stick with you. So I will definitely say Liddell has helped out big time too, with not only her students but also with the DECA program. She has her heart set on the kids more than just this as a career. She wants to see us DECA kids succeed and move on with our lives and be successful later on in our lives.
I'm sure I will be calling her in college.
Miss Liddell.
You'll be getting some phone calls. So if you're just tuning in or just started watching, talking DECA, the Payson High School DECA program, and instructor Ginger Liddell and students Emmalea, McMinimy, and Jaxon Rhodes, both seniors heading off to ASU next year, which is just great. And boy, yeah, you know, whether it's the DECA program or the other CTE programs in the school, something that is consistent with all of the programs is listening to the students. They are so much more confident, and they're just better prepared for college, if that's what they choose, or a trade school, or whatever they're doing, even going into the workforce. There's just this confidence and knowledge base that is provided from the CTE programs.
Well, it kind of forces them to step outside themselves and have those opportunities to public speak, to talk with other people. I can definitely say that through the program, the networking that these kids are able to actually accomplish, that they probably would never have had that opportunity to talk with a bunch of people. I know several students, even Emma, who at the beginning of the program probably was not even as confident as she is now, talking in front of the class or talking in front of a bunch of people was not her strength.
Yeah.
But definitely, I see that for most of my students who at the very beginning, they were probably pretty reserved, you know, kind of self-backed, but then through the program, having those opportunities to either compete or just having those public opportunities has definitely makes them blossom.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have, again, those opportunities. And something I've noticed, marketing. Marketing is part of every industry. It's in every industry. It's amazing, you know, marketing is just such a big part of business, politics, whatever it is. You have to market.
Absolutely, you have to market yourself, whether you're in a job interview, talking to other people about where you work, absolutely.
So you mentioned in the beginning of the year you had a golf tournament. It was your first one, very successful. So you're going to be doing that again this year?
We are. So in November, I believe it's the 16th. I have to look at my calendar, 16th or 17th, whatever that Saturday is. But it's going to be at Chaparral Pines this year. So we're switching over to Chaparral Pines. They are open to host us in regards to our second annual golf tournament.
Okay.
So put that on your calendars.
16th.
On the 16th, perfect, November 16th. And those funds will help cover our upcoming costs to state competition. Usually when I take that 40 students, it's upwards to $10,000 to $11,000
Oh, wow.
to take
Yeah.
students. We stay at the Arizona Grand Resort for 2 nights, and that includes, you know, food and hotel and transportation and all those kinds of things, and registration. So it's not cheap, and I want to make sure that students don't have to pay $250 in order for them to attend, because this is a great opportunity, just like they said. You know, sometimes that's what changes them and just makes it click. And so whatever we can do, so this fundraiser is one of those things that we hope to make some good profit.
money.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, in order to help fund. We rely on that, plus tax credit. We do that. Tax credit is really helpful for our program as well. So anything like that, we're just trying to come up with ideas on how we can raise money, so that way the kids don't have to come out of pocket as much.
And earlier you mentioned, we talked about internships. So there are businesses in the community that have students come out to intern. are you always, or are you looking for different businesses, or can businesses contact you if they're interested in getting a student to intern?
Absolutely, we're always looking for new places. In fact, every year, I don't think there might be a few that are repeats, but a lot of them are new places that we end up locating. A lot of it, the students are the ones reaching out to those businesses, whether they have a connection or it's something they're interested in. And so having that flexibility, and I have to say that our town is just amazing when it comes to embracing our students. We're just so lucky to live in a place where a community just supports our high school students as well as all of our kids in the way that they do, because a lot of things we couldn't do if we didn't have such a supportive community.
So this is it. How many days do you guys have left? Because I know you probably have it down to the
24 school days.
Well, it was 24, but you guys don't come to school that much, so they only have 23
Well, that's what I was like, I'm trying to
days.
I'm trying to make it day by day right now.
23 school days for my seniors.
You're broke, and you know,
I had to make a promise with my parents to go to school. It's been
Yeah.
rough, man. Senioritis is real.
Yeah.
This is real. Uh-oh, you have it pretty bad.
Yeah.
Emily, Jaxon, you hold it in there. She's not dragging you down, is she, man? Come on. No, you're staying strong?
Yeah.
Come on, pull her along with you. Come on,
No,
pull
he's
her
drowning in
with
his own boat.
Yeah, I am actually at this point. It's okay though.
you. You'll make it 20, not even 24 days.
No.
22, 23.
Yeah, with
There you
finals
go.
and all that stuff in there, so.
Yeah.
And then I get to be stuck with this one for
Yeah.
another 4 more years.
Yeah. So, what are you excited about, I guess, the most? What excites you the most about going off to college?
So I was, like most kids here, was born and raised here. So I've lived here for 18 years. I'm honestly excited to just be able to get out of Payson and kind of just see different things and meet a whole bunch of new different people that'll kind of stick with me while I'm at ASU. I will say that definitely growing up here was amazing. And then just kind of after a while, you just like, it's that small town living. You kind of just want to get out, be in the city, meet new people. So that's what I'm kind of excited for. And not only that is just to be able to be at ASU and study at ASU.
Oh, how about you, Emily?
Well, I'm going to sports business, and I've reached out to the ASU Athletics. So I'm really
Nice.
hoping to be able to start working with ASU Athletics my freshman year, and then work athletics all 4 years. And then one of the things that drew me to Phoenix was how close I was to the Phoenix Suns. So I'm hoping junior or my senior year of college, I'm going to be able to land an internship with the Phoenix Suns.
Nice. That
Yeah.
would be sweet,
That would be
huh?
super exciting, yeah.
Do you think maybe you could try and become the gorilla?
No.
Absolutely
Absolutely not.
That'd be a sight, huh?
Jaxon
I 100% would love to be like any sports team's mascot.
Oh, but they do some crazy
Yeah.
stuff. I mean,
That's
they have to have some gymnastics backgrounds or something.
They do
because-
like front flips and do like the hoops and stuff. I've been to
Yeah.
a Phoenix Suns game.
Yeah, coming down from the rafters. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. You just don't want to, get in there and not have
Got
that
that.
experience. Yeah.
It's fine.
It wouldn't-
I got it.
You got it, yeah. Nailed it.
If I break the backbone
Who
of
knew?
my body.
Yeah. And you know what, so something you said, Jaxon, that, when people hear, they're like, oh, that's not good, that's horrible, where, you said, hey, I've been here 18 years, and I'm looking forward to leaving, to see different things, to experience different things. And I think that's very important because there's so much out there. There's so much out there, whether you're going to another state, going to another country, whatever you decide to do. So many experiences that you can get. Then I think the important thing is just providing an ability for our young people to be able to come back, to have different positions and jobs available if young people ever want to come back to Payson. And we see a decent amount, I have to say, especially in the school district, graduates that have come back, that are teachers now, that are coaches, or maybe on our maybe law enforcement or public safety, firefighters. So it is really cool we have to, I think, really encourage our children to go, to like, get out of here, leave the nest, leave the Payson nest, and go out there into the big wide world and, you know, see what you can find.
Well, that's why it's important for our trips, because that's how I
Yeah.
view those as well, because when we do go to Austin, New York, Florida, those kinds of things, it's not just to travel, you know, it's not just to sightsee, it's there so that way they can see the kind of different jobs and experience the different culture and see what possibilities there are, so that that they can kind of expand on just their knowledge of living here. Because I can't tell you how many students where we even just went to Prescott for a leadership camp, and some of them had never been to even Prescott.
What?
They'd been to Phoenix and Payson, and that's it, and they are 15, 16 years old.
Wow.
And
okay.
so
Yeah.
my hope and my goal is to try to just expand their horizons and let them see, look, there's a whole world out there with unlimited amount of possibilities, and just thinking about your future and what jobs are out there don't even exist yet, because you're the guys are the game changers, and just coming up with those new directions on where to go in the business. And so that's my hope and goal, is that they have that opportunity to thrive and find something that is of interest to them.
And like Liddell said, like I've met so many people too that I just like, even kids who are still in DECA or who graduated from DECA, or just like guest speakers who got themselves out there and they moved across the states, and like now they're doing like really cool things. Like that's really cool. That takes a lot to do, you know. And so it's nice when Liddell does take us to these trips and these experiences, because it's like you can see yourself leaving and going and being in that spot. Definitely worth it.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, the trips, it sounds like are a really big part of the DECA program. Trips and competitions.
Yes, absolutely. We try to do as many opportunities for them to just spread their wings a little bit.
So again, internationals, both of you have qualified, and business law. And when is it again?
We leave April 26th, and then we
April
come back
26th.
May 1st, so it's a couple of days there in Anaheim.
All right, well, you guys go kick butt.
Oh, we will.
And, oh, we will.
We're coming for you, Texas.
Oh, so if you, do qualify there, then what is?
No, just
Yeah,
Texas
Texas.
is a big winner. They're, you know, they
Oh,
have a
yeah.
lot of people.
Oh,
And,
gotcha.
I mean, there's 22,000 students from around the world that come
Yeah.
to internationals,
Texas,
like-
and
And
Texas
Texas.
and Washington State are big.
They take up sections of stadiums,
Yeah.
like an entire
What?
section
And
of
Canada,
stadiums.
Canada's huge too.
Yeah, and you're just like, they
Wow.
all wear their cowboy hats too. Texas brings cowboy hats
Wow.
every year.
Wow, okay. So an entire section of a stadium will be just like students
One
from
state.
Texas?
Yes, I'm so serious. Like,
And how many for Arizona? What do you-
There's usually around 300-400 from Arizona.
Okay,
Yeah.
300 or 400. Wow,
Texas is huge.
Okay, now I see what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Coming for you, Texas. Okay, there we go. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on this morning, guys. Jaxon, Emmalea, and Miss Liddell, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for watching and listening this morning. And again, November 16th, put it on your calendar if you are a golfer or just want to get out and support the Payson High School DECA program. It's going to be at Chaparral Pines this
Chaparral
year.
Pines.
So yeah, a great event. It was a wonderful event last year, very successful, and it should be even bigger this year. So again, get that on your calendar. Well, thank you so much, guys, for, again, coming out this morning.
Thank you.
And everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Time to get back to the music here on KRIM.